Hey guys, back again. So now it's time to fix this error, which is in fact what I told you, the behavior subject. So let's minimize that and let's refresh this. So this should break. Oh, let's go to create new post. Okay. Seems that I didn't save what I should have saved. So just give me a second. This shouldn't be loading. Okay, I got an idea. Let's say ng serve again. So we just don't get confused. So let's wait for this to be served again. Okay, it's compiling and this should now throw us the error because I was checking what it was, and it was, as I said, actually the behavior subject. So this shouldn't be compiling. Okay, that is what I wanted to see. So it says inside this ng if we don't have the percentage. I will show you the template because I didn't show you that because of this error. So I will show you the template in a second, so don't worry about that, so you can see what it's all about. But in order to fix this, what we're going to do is that let's go to the service. So we're going to grab the percentage, okay, that we have, and using the behavior subject, we're going to subscribe to the changes on the percentage. Okay, so just give me a second. We have the percentage here in, okay, so here is where we are setting the values, and after we add the post, we're going to set all the values again to null. Okay, so we start all over again and we don't get stuck in 100%. So just let me minimize my OBS and let me just get these lines of code so we can have them. Okay, in fact, these lines weren't inside the Angular 8 part, so this error is going to happen in Angular 8 when we build the application, but without building, it's not showing that error. When we serve it, it's not showing that error. So that's what I was trying to say. But with Angular 9, it seems that it's just going to check everything and check if we have set the correct variables inside our components. So that's actually fine. So what we're doing here is that we're getting this post-service percentage changes. Let me make this bigger. Okay, we're subscribing to that, and this is the changes, or the percent. You can call it percent, whatever. So we're going to set this that percentage equals to C, which is actually right now the percentage that we have in the post service from Akita. So we save this, and okay, it was going to compile. Okay, my bad. So let's wait for this. Let's do it. Yeah, let's wait for this, and we will add a new one so you can see which are the changes. And let me just show you the template so we can just move on. So we have a section with an h2. So the first div is checking if we have the percentage. When we're going to get the percentage when we upload a file. So that means that using this ng template, we're going to set the form. Okay, if we haven't performed any action, we're going to set the form first. Using the ng submit, we're going to get the values of that form and send them to the Akita service in order to update the Firebase database. And that, using the sync collection, let's go to libraries. It's going to trigger an added event inside Firebase, and it's going to store a new entity using the ID and the values from there. Okay, so you can just grab those and use it, because that will be in the store after we update the or we add a new post. So let's take a look. You can see we don't have any error. So let's create a new post and say we can say whatever we want. It's not a big deal. Choose file. Let me choose this one, maybe, I don't know. Open and submit. You can see we have this 0 to 100. We have the 100 there. And now we get redirected because we're handling the routing navigation inside the function. So after all this is done, we're just going to wait for that, and then we're going to trigger the redirection using the router navigate to the main page. Okay, so now that is set, but as I said, just one more thing, just let me make this bigger. So the change handle input is taking the event, and from the event we're getting the file list. That's how we are handling the file and passing that to the Firebase upload function. Okay, so we have that. Let's close this and let's close this one. So this one is already set, so let's close that one. And we're going to start working inside the main. So we have the service here. Okay, so you remember we have this private collection which is getting the post collection, and we have this connect, which is the function we're going to use next in order to connect to the store, which is syncing the collection inside the state. Okay, so let's go to main.component.ts and let me just go there. So we're going to need a few things. Just let me paste them, make this bigger. We're going to need the post service from the state post service. We're going to we are not actually going to need the model in this case. The post query from the state query post query, and the until destroy, which is going to allow us to destroy the subscription, okay, when this component is unmounted or destroyed. The post store, which is the store itself. Why we need that? Because just to show a few things what we have inside the store. So now I'm just going to grab all this, copy that and paste. So we will have the private service, post service, the post query, which is a post query, and the post store, which is the store. So now we're just going to grab. Okay, so this is actually Akita, so let's type this. Public posts equals this, that we're going to use the post query that, and we can see we have all these methods. So we're going to use select all, which is going to select everything we have inside the query, inside the state. So now we're going to say public loading equals to this dot post query, and set, we have this set loading, which is going to trigger when we make the first check inside the state, okay, in order to receive every part of the state. So now inside the ng on init, let's make some space there, scroll down a little bit. So let's minimize this one and minimize the libraries, minimize the state. Okay, so we can see only the main files there. So we can do something. We can try to get the entities. So let's actually try to get this and see if it works. So we have this post store value entities, which are in fact the entities inside the storage. So let's wait and let's see. Right now we don't have anything. So let's see if the connect works. So we're going to say this post service connect. So we need to connect to that pipe. We create a pipe and, well, let's just do it like this until destroyed this. Okay, so we grab this stream that subscribe. Okay, you can see how this is done. Inside the pipe we have this until destroy, which is going to just let me paste this comment so you can see that. It's going to unsubscribe from the observable once the component is destroyed. Okay, as I said before. So here we're going to receive the subscription response, and we can say console.log now this that post service, I mean post store. So we're going to do actually the same we have here, just to show the differences on that. Okay, I had an S there for some reason, and that should be it. So we add a semicolon here, and let's see what we have. Okay, main component is using until destroy but doesn't implement ng on destroy. Okay, we actually need to do that. So let's add on destroy and let's implement here. Okay, here adding a comma on destroy. So we need to say ng on destroy. We can also give it a void response, and let's see. Okay, so we have this, and you can see the changes in the state. So okay, well, let me just, well, I was going to close that, but we actually need that. So what is going on? What is going on here? Sorry, I was going to say something, but my mind changed drastically. So this post service connect is going to connect to the store that we have set in the service, in the post.service.ts, which is syncing the collection from Firebase. So we're making actually that call there, and using the until destroy, we are going to keep the stream flowing unless the component is unmounted. So we're going to destroy that. So this is just passing this same stream into the until destroy. So after that we subscribe, and we're just consoling this. Okay, so we can see the IDs, and we can see all that we have. So let's go to main, and we're going to add now the template here. Okay, so we only have this main works. So let me just see here that we're not missing anything. We need to do something inside the model, but we will do that later once we start using the model. So far we don't need that. So just give me a second, I'm checking in case I missed something. But yeah, that's anything. So as I said, every time the collection changes, we're going to set the correct action. So that's why we don't have to actually pass the connection. Okay, so I'm going to grab the header here and paste it. So we have this header, but we still don't have this image. We will do that in the last video. In the last part of this series, we're going to add all the styles. Okay, so we have this tip: use Akita to manage your stream application, and we have this CTA, which is call to action, this add post. Okay, we save that. We have another div here with the class loading, and this is going to check if loading is set. Then we're going to use the posts. So we have this LDS circle, which is a CSS loader. we have used these ones before, and the Akita and an H2 saying loading Akita state. And then we're going to pass an ng template, which is called posts. So we're going to check the posts and sorry, we're going to check the posts that we receive. Let me close the sync collection and let me go here. So the post is actually here when we are getting everything from the store. We're handling everything from the store here. And because it's already synced with the collection, and we're checking, okay, from everything you have in the posts, give me the post and do the next thing for it, which is, let me just make this bigger and scroll down a little bit. So we're going to say the h2 to be the post title and around the link to be a /post, and we're going to pass the post.id. Okay, so we're going to use the cover using the ng style and a background image using the URL of the post.cover. So we save this, we make this smaller, and let's take a look. And you can see we have all this. I was checking that for the new behavior subject, so I checked that and I added a new one. So now, give me a second. My my dog that is so yeah, we have this, and this is already set. We're receiving that. If we want to see the images, because this is a div, and you know that divs are inline elements, so they don't have a specific height, so, and also a specific width. So let me just go to my CSS, style CSS, and I'm going to check for the post cover, I think it is. Okay, let me just grab this section, post cover, post tip A. Okay, copy this, and this is only for us to be able to see what we have. So let's save this, and you can see we have all the images, and everything is working fine. So yeah, seems I missed one style, but we'll fix those in the next video, no, in the last video of this series. So you can see right now we also added the link for this, and we can go inside because that is below the this is the CTA. Actually, it's going to the add post, so we can just go back. Okay, so we're receiving everything. We are able to add information inside. So let's just create a new one just for fun, or just for you to see that everything is working fine. Just one more thing, and we will be done for this part. So submit, and you can see how the state is changing there, and I just added this one. Okay, so what is the next thing that we need to do? We need to, when we click this, go to the posts and or to a specific post and match the ID in order to receive the information from the specific post. Okay, but that we're going to do in the next video.